We'll have your, you'll have.
With coverage you can count on, this
Gatlinburg Detective Rodney.
Yep, having them read for Cinderella. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2.
with coverage you can count on. This is Channel 3 Eyewitness News at 11.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Greg Glover.
And I'm Cindy Sexton. It's been nearly 2 years since the Ottawa assault came to light. Until today, Gatlinburg Detective Rodney Burns was the only adult still facing charges in connection with the assault.
Detective Burns was facing 2 counts of perjury charges, but those charges were dismissed by a Hamilton County criminal court judge. Channel 3's Tanisha Cordell joins us now with more. Tanisha.
The perjury charges against Detective Rodney Burns were filed after the preliminary hearing last year. A 25-page court order explains why those charges were dismissed. Among them is the fact that the court ruled that the preliminary hearing was illegal. Gatlinburg Detective Rodney Burns was the first officer on the scene after an Ottawa high school student was assaulted nearly 2 years ago. A preliminary hearing was held in juvenile judge Robert Filyall's courtroom.
This is not the first time I've had a problem with the DCS policy, and it probably won't be the last. There's an argument that could be made that victim 1 was reported the next day. That's really not good enough, and there's no proof that the other 3 were reported.
Burns gave his testimony during that hearing.
It wasn't sexual really in nature. Their intent was not, his pants weren't pulled down. They weren't doing it for sexual gratification. This was something stupid that kids do that shouldn't have been done.
Burns was later accused of lying on the stand and was charged with perjury. But his attorney argued the case should have never been held in juvenile court. The Hamilton County Criminal Court agreed and the charges were dropped. According to a 25-page court order, no statute permits the juvenile court to conduct proceedings with respect to child sexual abuse. The order later states any false or perjurious testimony given by Mr. Burns during that hearing could not form the basis of a later charge of perjury. Now, Burns' attorney says they are very pleased with the ruling and says it was the right thing to do. Live in the studio, Tanisha Cordell, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Tanisha, thank you. New tonight, the Bledsoe County Sheriff's Office says a toddler that's been missing for 7 months has been found safe in Wyoming. Jeremiah Frazier has been missing since May. The sheriff's office says his mother, Gracie Frazier, has been taken into custody. She was wanted on felony charges for various counties. The sheriff's office says they're still waiting for little Jeremiah to arrive home here in Tennessee.
A man and woman are in custody tonight after a 7-hour SWAT standoff in Bradley County. Mark Clayton Kane and Andrea Pridgeon will both face charges. The standoff began around 9:30 this morning following a traffic stop. When police approached the vehicle, Kane, the driver, pulled a gun and held it to his girlfriend's head. The two then fled and forced themselves into a home in the Royal Oak subdivision. The woman who owns the house was home at the time. She barricaded herself in a back room. A short time later, the SWAT team was able to rescue her.
All the credit goes to the citizens of this neighborhood for protecting their neighbor. And I'm just thankful that we're not working a homicide today. It could have easily been 3 deaths. It could have been one of our officers hurt, but our SWAT team did an awesome job. Our deputies did an awesome job. Bradley County Fire and EMS did an awesome job. ATF responded and assisted us. Department of Homeland Security members even assisted us. And everybody just pulled it together, and we have victory today because 2 people's going to jail.
No shots were fired. The SWAT team used tear gas to get the suspects out. Kane faces multiple charges, including 2 counts of kidnapping and federal felony warrants. Pridgeon is charged with theft. In Gundy County, a school board member charged with making false reports says she is innocent. Casey Anderson was charged yesterday after the sheriff says she sent a message that put all the schools on lockdown. We do not know what the text message said. Anderson responded to her arrest in a Facebook post saying she is innocent. She did not respond to our request for comment. Neither did the director of schools, Jesse Kinsey. You can see the full Facebook post inside the WRCB mobile app.
A Chattanooga police officer riding a motorcycle had a close call while driving on Black Friday.
That one's getting a ticket.
Police posted this video in an effort to warn drivers to continually scan the roadway in front, to the rear, and to the sides. Often drivers do not see people on motorcycles until it's too late. Just this year, there have been more than 144 motorcycle crashes. 4 of them have been fatal. 90 crashes resulted in injury. We spoke to the Chattanooga police officer who was on that motorcycle, and he says he has a warning for all of us people in four-wheelers.
And so, watching for motorcycles is a year-round thing. People need to just be aware that there are motorcycles out there, and they just really have to look before they, pull out or turn left or change lanes, and just take the time to take that second look.
As you saw in the video, no one was injured in this case, but police say the driver did not get a Black Friday deal from this officer.
Signal Mountain community members met tonight seeking answers about the issue of separating from Hamilton County schools. The group Stay with HCDE hosted a forum and invited town council members. Channel 3's Casey Freeman attended the meeting and joins us now with community reaction. Casey?
Cindy, one of the core members of Stay with HCDE committee says there's a big divide in their community, but both sides have a desire to get to the bottom of this issue. Community members were able to ask town councilmen questions about their children's education. These concerned parents want to stay with the Hamilton County schools. Michael McCamish moved to Signal Mountain to give his kids the best education.
This is something that we want to preserve the quality of our schools that we already have, and we don't know if we go into an independent district what is going to transpire.
Catherine McCorley cares most about the special education program. After going through the proposed budget of the School System Viability Committee, she doesn't see enough funding that will help her daughter.
Behaviorists autism specialists, people who are able to do assistive technology assessments, augmentative communication devices.
Lottie Miller is an 8th grader at Signal Mountain Middle. She says her school does a good job of trying to place students in classes based on their skill level. She says if there are changes, it could mess up the normal flow of the school day. Miller is also uneasy about the quality of education. She's already planning to take honors classes.
I have a lot of goals towards the future. Don't necessarily know what they are, but I would really like to get into a good college.
The councilmen who attended tonight's sessions say they aren't sure of a complete timeline yet. They say this is on the agenda at the next work session. Live in the studio, Casey Freeman, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Casey, thank you. Now we want to check in with Paul Barris.
He's live in the Storm Alert Center with the first look at the forecast. Paul.
We had for today, the bus stop forecast tomorrow. We're going to see a lot of sunshine to begin with, about 41 or so, and 67 at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You can't beat that. It's looking really good. There are a few high clouds on the other side of the Mississippi River, and I think we're going to see mainly sunny skies again for tomorrow. A little swirl in the atmosphere is creating some showers out in Oklahoma, but that's no problem for us. Looking at Vipercast right now, 7 o'clock in the morning, we'll see a few clouds south. Maybe partly cloudy skies south of the city. Most of the day tomorrow should be sunny. And coming up into tomorrow night and right into Thursday morning, we'll call partly cloudy skies as the clouds start to increase a bit into Thursday. This is around Thursday at 6 o'clock. I think into Thursday night there could be a few sprinkles, but that's about it. This is Friday at 7 o'clock in the morning, so we're not expecting much of any rain at all. I've got the complete 7-day forecast in just a few minutes.
Paul, thank you. The Voice is now down to the top 10 artists, and our local artist will advance to next week. Brooke Simpson was one of the first artists saved tonight. America voted to keep her in on the competition after her powerful performance of Pink's What About Us last night. Brooke is a former Lee University student. She will perform again next week. The Voice airs right here on Channel 3, Monday and Tuesday at 8. After the break here at 11, it's been 1 year since wildfires scorched much of Gatlinburg.
And this evening, community members there reflected on those who put their lives on the line and those who lost their lives.
Tonight marks 1 year since the deadly wildfires swept through Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge.
A ceremony was held to honor the brave first responders who helped in the fight against the wildfire and also to remember the 14 lives lost.
Hear now our prayer for Elaine Brown, Alice Hagler, Robert Bobby Allen Hejny, Pamela Johnson. Hug her from us, Lord. Bradley William Phillips, Constance Reed, Chloe Reed, Lily Reed, Janet Summers, John Summers, Reverend Ed Taylor, John Tegler, Marilyn Tegler, May Evelyn Norin Vance. Oh Lord, we know the fabric of this community is woven strong and beautiful. While we can cleanse the smoke and fix the wind-shredded edges of this fabric, teach us to honor this scarred fabric and the very holes that remain.
And that story, of course, comes from the NBC affiliate in Knoxville, WBIR. A permanent memorial for the victims and first responders was announced today. A walking bridge and reflective pond will go into a wooded area in North Gatlinburg. Coming up on Eyewitness News at 11, North Korea has tested a new and more powerful missile.
The missile could have reached the continental United States, we're told. Now the president says the military is monitoring the situation. Details are next.
With coverage you can count on, this is Channel 3 Eyewitness News at 11.
North Korea has tested a new and more powerful long-range missile.
The Pentagon said that missile went higher than any previous test, which means it could have reached the U.S. East Coast if fired on a lower trajectory. NBC's Richard Engel has more on the first missile launch from North Korea in more than 2 months.
North Korea fired one of its biggest and most controversial missiles today, similar to this one intelligence officials believe launched last September, an intercontinental ballistic missile, which in theory can reach the continental U.S. But not the way North Korea fired this one. It went almost straight up, peaking, the South Korean military said, at an altitude of nearly 3,000 miles, traveling a distance of just 600 miles, until it crashed off the Japanese coast, causing no damage. President Trump, often criticized for his provocative and at times threatening rhetoric, today kept his cards close.
It is a situation that we will handle.
Defense Secretary Mattis added a little more detail.
It went higher, frankly, than any previous shot they've taken.
Why now? Political payback, perhaps. President Trump threatened the North Korean regime while in South Korea earlier this month. The president followed up with a tweet saying he'd never call Kim Jong-un short or fat. Kim Jong-un was in no position to respond. The U.S. had 3 aircraft carrier strike groups nearby. Now, all but one of the carriers has left, and we may be entering a new cycle of escalation. In Hawaii today, officials let reporters listen to the state's new attack warning siren. Starting in December, it will be tested every month.
U.S. officials believe North Korea is probably testing what is called a re-entry system. That is the protective covering at the tip of a ballistic missile, the housing of the actual warhead. And you want to make sure that that housing is strong enough to survive coming in from high altitudes. And the only way to do that is to test it coming in from high altitudes. Richard Engel, NBC News, London.
Rhetoric was intense on Capitol Hill today as Senate Republicans make an all-out push to pass their tax reform bill by year's end. Some GOP leaders hope to have had a vote as early as this week after the bill passed a Senate committee today on a party line vote, and there appears to be no Democratic support, with senators from that party pleading for more negotiations and compromise. Looming over the push is the Alabama Senate election on December 12th. If Democrat Doug Jones defeats Republican Roy Moore, the GOP would lose a seat in the Senate, making passing their bill all the more difficult.
The Hamilton County Sheriff's Office is the recipient of the 2017 Community-Oriented Policing Services Hiring Grant, or COPS grant. The $250,000 grant was given to the Sheriff's Office by the U.S. Department of Justice. It will allow them to hire 2 new crime and intelligence officers that will get the department to better track crime trends. Sheriff Jim Hammond says he's thankful for the money.
This is something that I have dreamed of, the day we could add these 2 positions. And I think you will see it enhance our abilities to fight crime here in Hamilton County.
The Sheriff's Office was one of only 2 agencies in the state to receive the grant. Let's head back over to the Storm Alert Center for a more complete look at the forecast, Paul.
Greg, things are looking great for pretty much the rest of the week. There's going to be a slight chance for some showers coming up on Thursday, but it's going to be a wonderful day tomorrow. Again, the chance for showers mainly late in the day and into Thursday night. Then Friday looks like it's going to be very mild once again. There's no clouds to speak of around here. All the cloudiness is off to the north. There's a few high clouds near the Ohio River, and some of them may stream our way later on tomorrow. There's a big swirl in the atmosphere right now out over Kansas and Oklahoma, and a big area of moisture out over the desert southwest that's going to be making a pretty big storm across the midsection of the country. And here's that rain in Kansas and Oklahoma right now. We'll keep an eye on that, but I think that's really going to fade away as it gets closer to us. 52 in Dalton, 44 in Cleveland, 42 in the city, but it's 32 in Athens now, and already down to 31 in Murphy with calm winds. Our high today was 65, 30 was the overnight low. So that's a big spread. That's very dry air there, 35-degree spread from the high to the low. 66 Dalton to Varnell, also in Calhoun, 68 in Chatsworth, 63 in Scottsboro and Fort Payne, 69 Lakeside to 68 in Cleveland, and about 60 Signal Mountain and Lookout Mountain with 65 Ooltewah, also in Red Bank, 55 up on Mowbray Mountain. Pikeville was 66, so was Dunlap, while Jasper hit 67. And then we had Riceville at 61, Athens the same, and 64 out near Murphy, 68 in Etowah though, and Delano about 67. This is tomorrow morning, pretty much clear skies once again. Cold front comes in, stops, fades out. There's not that much left, just partly cloudy skies by Thursday morning. Clouds increase through the day on Thursday. See these little green dots there? Those are light rain showers that could pop up during the day and into Thursday night. By Friday morning, most of it's over with. Still some leftover clouds, though, into Friday evening, and possibly into Saturday morning, another wave of moisture move our way. But I don't see any rain, just maybe some clouds. So tonight, 40 with clear skies, so it's not going to be as cold as it's been. 67 tomorrow, mostly sunny. And then tomorrow night, 49 and partly cloudy skies once again. On Thursday, we'll give it about a 25% chance for showers. Probably 1 out of 4 of us may see a little bit of rain, but not much, less than a tenth. And 65 for the high. Friday, about 60, and really warming up on Saturday, 66 if that sun will break out. Sunday, 62. Monday, 62. Maybe a chance for some showers on Tuesday. And coming up about December 8th, December 9th, that's when the colder air will start to move our way. If you're a cold weather fan, you'll be looking forward to that. But in the meantime, the rest of us will enjoy this.
Yeah. There are cold weather fans.
Oh, you better believe it.
They're waiting for it.
Yeah.
Paul, thanks.
Next in sports, the Balls make an offer that Mike Gundy could and did refuse.
It's on to the next one for Tennessee. The very latest ahead with Paul Shaheen.
As Greg Glover joked about earlier, the mullet market just took a hit in East Tennessee. I can't take credit for writing that one. Despite a reported hefty financial offer, Mike Gundy turned down Tennessee to remain at his alma mater, Oklahoma State. Gundy confirmed it with this tweet you're looking at just before 9:30 p.m. Gundy tweeted, quote, "Cowboy for life, go Pokes, Oak State." College football insider Brett McMurphy reports the Vols offered Mike Gundy a significant raise, a 6-year deal worth $42 million. That equates to roughly $7 million a year plus bonuses. Gundy just signed a 5-year deal in June at Oak State worth $4.2 million a year. So it was a raise. The news came just hours after John Curry met with Gundy in Dallas, Texas. That meeting came after a phone call from Peyton Manning to Mike Gundy. So where do the Vols turn now? A few names are rumored to have been contacted by UT, and a few names are drawing a lot of interest from the fan base and former players. Well, here's the latest, what we know right now. Reports out there say the Tennessee Volunteers have contacted at least 3 names: Purdue head coach Jeff Brom, NC State head coach Dave Dorian, and Auburn defensive coordinator Kevin Steele. There has been a push from former players for the Vols to call 1998 national champion quarterback T. Martin as well. Martin currently leads USC Trojans offense, where he's been since 2012. The latest college football playoff rankings are out. Your top 4: Clemson, Auburn, Oklahoma, and Wisconsin. Alabama sits at number 5, Georgia at number 6. It's simple for the Georgia Bulldogs. Beat Auburn on Saturday, and you're in the playoff. But that isn't simple. What isn't simple, rather, is figuring out Auburn.
I've got a lot of respect for Gus and his team. Got a lot of respect for Coach Steele and the job he's done defensively. They're playing at a really high level, probably one of the hottest teams in college football, if not the hottest team in college football.
Saturday will mark the first ever SEC championship game inside the new Mercedes-Benz Stadium. I will be there in Atlanta with live reports for you on air and online. Kick at 4 on CBS. For SEC coaching news, Mississippi State found its guy. The Bulldogs are set to name Penn State offensive coordinator Joe Moorhead their next head coach, according to multiple reports out there. Moorhead spent 2 seasons at Penn State. His head coaching experience comes from Fordham University, where he coached for 4 seasons before Penn State. On the Prep Beat, our in-depth state championship preview will start tomorrow with 2 local teams, 2 only involved, Notre Dame and Tyner. In short, here's your state championship rundown. First up, in 2A, Tyner takes on Union City on Friday in Cookeville, 12 p.m. Eastern. Rams are after their first state championship since 1997. And as mentioned, we have Notre Dame, the other team, taking center stage Saturday, 4 p.m. They get Lausanne. Again, it's a 4 p.m. kick on Saturday at Tennessee Tech. Jill Jelnick will be there for both games. Some college hoops tonight. The Mocs were at Akron. UTC was down 11 at the break. They rally late, pulling within 3 points, but there's your dagger. Daniel Utomi with under 30 seconds left from deep. That made it a 6-point game. He had 24 on the game. Rodney Chapman led the Mocs with 19, but Chattanooga's comeback falls short, 75-70. Your final score. The Mocs fall to 3-4. The very young Chattanooga Mocs as they learn this team, this roster, this coaching staff. Maybe this is a preseason we look at it because the real stuff starts in conference play.
After holidays, yeah.
Exactly.
Paul, thanks very much. Paul Bears has your 7-day when we get back.
Well, I hit the button quick, so we'll just go straight to the 7-day forecast. It's going to be a gorgeous day tomorrow. Highs will be near 67, mostly sunny skies. Then we'll see a few more clouds tomorrow night. Thursday, some scattered showers and about 65. By Friday, a little bit cooler and then warming up again into the weekend. Saturday and Sunday look glorious, and maybe some showers by next Tuesday.
Wow, those are amazing temperatures. Well, thank you.
I'm proud of it.
Good. We are too. We appreciate it.
Well, how about some cuteness to help close the show? A couple of baby tiger cubs made their debut at the Pittsburgh Zoo today.
The rare endangered Amur tiger cubs, I think I said that right, a male and female, are 9 weeks old. They're being raised by hand at the zoo because their mom neglected them from birth. Without human intervention in the first weeks, they would not have survived. Zoo staffers say they're doing great and growing quickly. These tigers are often referred to as Siberians. They're native to Russia and the largest of all the cat species.
You think she'd need chainmail gloves to be forcing food into a tiger's mouth like that?
They will.
Yes,
Yes.
soon. A little closer to home now. As the dust settles from last week's Georgia Dome implosion, there she goes. You may have seen some sites selling pieces of the building. If you see a link to GeorgiaDomeSale.com. It is legit, but it's for an auction that happened months ago. If you really want a piece of the dome, according to our Atlanta news partners at 11 Alive, you can just go grab a piece for free at the site.
Yes. Or pay me.
And
I'll be
go
there
down and get one.
Saturday.
That's it.
There you
He's
go.
going to be there.
Or
You
take
might
a
have
MARTA
moon rocks
bus,
to bring.
right?
His trunk will be full of them.
Mic check. 1, 2, 3. The mullet market took a hit in East Tennessee yesterday. Despite a reported hefty financial offer, Mike Gundy turned down Tennessee to remain at his alma mater, Oklahoma State. Gundy confirmed it